Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be talking about the real reason why inventor Marko Dragic created the robot that he needed Arthur's help with. So, in case you guys don't know who Marko Dragic is, let me quickly run you through the one mission in which he appears in. He appears in the stranger mission called A Bright Bouncing Boy, and you'll first encounter him in Chapter 4, and he can be seen loitering around a park in Saint Denis, and he's placing something in the pond. And if he's approached by Arthur, he'll state that he is a professor and an inventor, and that he wants to demonstrate his new remote-controlled gear to some potential investors. Now, in case it wasn't obvious enough, Dragic is actually based off of Nikola Tesla, who was also a visionary Croatian-Serbian inventor who migrated to the United States in 1884, and who is known for his contributions in the field of electricity. And Marko Dragic shares a lot of similarities, like it's a clear parody. Now, during this first encounter, all things seem pretty simple. He simply just requests Arthur to drive around his boat in the pond, demonstrating the magical waves that are allowing him to control it, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty simple mission. Now, after the mission is done, Marko Dragic actually invites Arthur to his, I guess, laboratory or compound in Dover Hill. Now, what's also kind of interesting is this encounter that you can have if you stay around and actually listen to Marko as the investors leave. It's pretty funny. Take a listen to this.
I have now illustrated just a small sliver of the miracles I can enact on this earth. If you will help me and not stab me in the ass like the other Americans. Traitors! All of you, goddamn traitors! None of you has the wisdom to invest in my genius! Genius! You're fools. All of you. Fools. Fools! Fools! You are no longer needed, okay? Go.
Anything else I can help you with?
No, you've done quite enough. Now you can leave me alone.
So in a fit of rage, Marko actually throws part of his remote control gear into the pond, and I just thought that was really funny. I had never done that the first time. Now, the second time you encounter him will have to be at his lab in Dover Hill. And essentially, Marko asked Arthur to help him set up electrical conductors outside of his lab. And at this point, you don't really have any idea of what he's trying to do, other than he's trying to generate some amount of electricity, and that there's something in the center of his laboratory that probably will be activated. And once you've done all the tasks for him, this is the important cutscene where that thing that requires all the electricity is revealed.
Are you ready?
Sure. Second time lucky, eh?
Second time? More like 7,000. This is my life's work. It is incredible. Watch. He lives! My son lives!
What is it?
It is life itself! Morons who doubted me. It is me and you. Look at him. Isn't he wonderful?
Is that it?
For now. I am so happy. Oh, you just saw creation's second birth.
I just saw a machine waddle a few steps.
I have a son. I am the luckiest man alive. Those morons, they doubted me.
I'll see you later.
Yes, yes. Goodbye. Oh.
So you can see there that a robot was revealed and it will spring to life but quickly lose power and stumble. Marko is incredibly happy that his creation came to life and that he achieved something. He states that he has a son, that this is the happiest moment of his life, and he sort of just tells Arthur that he can go away now, that he's done. Arthur is like, what the heck? A machine waddled a couple of steps. It's one of the funniest things in the entire game. And after this cutscene, you're automatically forced to leave his lab. However, you can look inside and you can see him once again happy over the edge of the robot. And then if you return 48 hours later, something mysterious happens. If you return to his lab, you'll notice that Marko is dead on the ground and the robot has disappeared. And you'll see that he is pretty bloody and that there's bloody footprints all over the laboratory. So this has kind of begged the question, what happened to the robot and what occurred here? Now, at a first glance, you would assume that the robot is in the wrong here, that they're the ones who have murdered their creator. And it certainly does look like that's the case. However, was the robot in the right? Were they trying to prevent the end of the world? That's what we're going to be figuring out now. So this is the first opportunity in which you've been given free roam of Marko's laboratory and the ability to go inside and check out what's going on. Well, on one of the desks, you'll actually find an inventor's plan note, which reveals Marko's true intentions of creating the robot. So as you guys can see here, it says life plan. In 5 years, he wants to create one automation, receive funding, and win the top scientist prize. So that kind of seems like that's where we are right now, because he was trying to get funding from those investors at the pond. By year 6, he wants to have 2 automations and make an automation factory. By 10 years, he wants to have 100 automations and become a very rich man. And then by 15 years, he wants to have an automation army take over the world. So Marko Dragic's real intentions here were very evil. He wanted to take over the world by creating an army of robots. So getting back to what has happened in the laboratory, it's pretty clear that the robot killed Marko Dragic. But did the robot save the human race? Did Marko actually reveal to the robot his real plans? Or did the robot find out his plans and decided to kill his master? That's sort of interesting to think about right there. So did the robot go from bad guy to good guy, and did Marko Dragic go from good guy to bad guy here? As we know, his true intentions were to take over the world. Now, as you guys know, you can find the robot at the top of like a mountain near Coulter, sort of where you start the game. Now, unfortunately, you don't get any more details from the robot once you're there. All the robot says is Papa over and over and over again. So it's clear that I think the robot knows it made a mistake, but at the same rate is very regretful, but might have done what was required to save humanity. Now, what's also very interesting is if you return to Marko's laboratory after visiting the robot, the body will be gone. However, the blood stains are still there. So that almost opens up another mystery. What happened to Marko Dragic's body, and did someone come and get it? As far as I know, his laboratory was pretty isolated on the very top corner of the map. So it'd be highly unlikely that someone would just stroll in and take his body away without grabbing any of the valuable equipment on the inside. So is there another robot that we don't know about that took his body away to try and save the one we found on top of the mountain? We're diving into a huge rabbit hole of mysteries here, but I still think this is pretty interesting to discover. But anyways, now you know the real reason why Marko Dragic wanted to create his robot in Red Dead Redemption 2. It was so he could eventually take over the world. But anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What do you think about finding out this secret information about our professor that created this robot? Does it change your opinion on the entire story? Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.